Previously on Asian Air Safari, we've combed to the Eastern Cape's beautiful coast on horseback, surfboard, and four-wheelers to find the best experiences in this side of South Africa. In the third part of this adventure, I visit the town of Cullinan, home of the world's biggest diamond, and discover hidden gems in its old streets. Before making my way to the Sabi Sands in Kruger National Park, with its breathtaking scenery and luxury lodges, where I venture into the wild and get some incredible encounters with Africa's big five. Coming from Johannesburg, I will make my way up to the town of Cullinan, just 30 minutes from the capital of Pretoria. Then, I go on the last leg of my journey, flying to the town of Skukuza, where the Kruger National Park is located. The discovery of minerals made South Africa a mining industry leader, especially after the most sought after of gemstones was dug here in abundance: diamonds. I made my way to the small town of Cullinan, a mining settlement built at the height of the diamond rush. Peterson takes me on a biking tour of this charming town, which has kept most of its early 1900s mining village character.
Now we are riding down Oak Avenue.
Okay.
This is the biggest and busiest street
Here.
in Cullinan.
Yes.
This one.
With the jacaranda trees in full bloom and the miners' stone houses still standing, Oak Avenue seemed like it was suspended in time. It was great to see its old buildings and streets beautifully preserved. One of the town's earliest buildings is the Cullinan Premier Hotel, standing here since 1905. Everything was exactly the way it was before.
Yes, it's actually the same. They try to preserve the hotel to look the way it was many years ago.
The hotel was built for businessmen and important guests visiting the mine. Peterson takes me down to the old wine cellar.
Okay, this was used as a prison during Second World War when they captured Italians, prisoners of war from Ethiopia.
And then he casually mentions another interesting fact about the hotel.
This is one of the haunted hotel in the world, so there's ghosts in this hotel. There's one ghost here of a young boy. He was the son of the hotel manager. He was 11 years old.
I think we better go out, get the wine and drink outside.
Okay, please follow me this way.
Thankfully, the ghost tour was over. Back on our bikes, we continued our exploration, reaching the mine pit.
So what you see here, it's the old open pit, but everything is underneath the hold because the mine volcano, it goes down vertically, all the way down, 2 kilometers deep.
Peterson gave me a glimpse of the workings of the Cullinan mine. I behold the towering mine shaft, which allowed the movement of people and equipment above and below the ground. Behind the scenes is a powerful system of hoists and pulleys that allow the safe and efficient transport underground. The diamonds beneath this pit were formed billions of years ago, and volcanic activity caused them to come closer to the surface. In 1905, the biggest diamond in the world, at more than 3,000 carat, was discovered here. The Cullinan diamond, weighing 1.33 pounds, broke historic records. It was cut into 9 large stones and 100 smaller ones. The 2 largest stones can be found in the British Royal Scepter and in the Imperial State Crown. Today, Cullinan continues to be one of South Africa's largest diamond producers. It was great to spend time in Cullinan, a town that is all about preserving the past, yet looking ahead to a bright, sparkling future.
Best way to see the place is not by car.
Riding on the bike.
Yeah.
That's the easy ways to see the whole town and get the history information of the entire town.
Thank you for lending me a bike.
Thank you.
Up next, I leave the towns and townships behind as I delve deep into the heart of South Africa's mountains, bush plains, and tropical forest in Kruger National Park for a high adrenaline wildlife experience. Leaving Johannesburg behind, I fly to the village of Skukuza, the headquarters of the Kruger National Park, where the airport is located. We were met by Robin, who will drive us to our lodge. Kruger is one of the largest wildlife sanctuaries in Africa, with some of the densest animal population. Today, I will be staying in one of the lodges found inside the Sabi Sands Game Reserve. This is the Lion Sands River Lodge, a peaceful, luxurious retreat in the middle of the wild.
Wow, how lucky can I be to have such a nice room in the middle of the bush. Nice looking, locally designed room. All the comfort is here. And the nice view of the Sabi River.
Making use of local materials, the rooms offer a delightfully bright space with a touch of modern sophistication. It has all the creature comforts that guarantee a pleasant stay.
And very complete bar. I even have wild animals outside my porch.
The Sabi River flows just outside the bungalows, attracting a lot of wildlife to come into view. This seamless blending between the wilderness outside and the comforts inside the lodge continues throughout the property. I think these lines are blurred, even for the animals who frequently pop in. I got to sit down and chat with the general manager of the lodge, Jopi Van Ruyen.
How did Lion Sands start? I heard there's so much history in this place.
So there's a lot of history dating back to 1933 when Guy Aubrey Chalkley, who's our current CEO's great-grandfather, purchased the piece of land. In 1948 it was incorporated into the Sabi Sands, and then our first commercial lodge was opened in the 1970s.
Since then, under the leadership of the Moore brothers, the lodges have undergone a series of renovations and improvements to become the multi-awarded 5-star property that it is today.
Why did you call it Lion Sands?
In those days, we had an absolutely incredible pride of about 22 lions that used to roam these areas. That was very special. I remember my first time when I arrived at Lion Sands for my interview initially. As I drove in, these 22 lions were lying next to the road, and you just couldn't believe the size that they take up. So it was absolutely awesome.
And how many rooms do you have now?
At River Lodge, we've got 18 rooms, and at Ivory Lodge, we've got 10 rooms, which includes our Fish Eagle Villa, which is our top-end, fully exclusive villa, which comes with your private chef, private game drive, and your butler in your villa.
But what Lion Sands prides itself in is its excellent service. attuned to the needs of every guest.
So I would say the first thing that we're proud of is our staff. The staff are all invested in making sure that a guest stay is absolutely seamless and that every guest walks away with only the best memories of South Africa.
Of course, the main attraction for staying in a place like Lion Sands is doing the game drives.
I would love to be a guide. I think it's a fantastic job.
It comes with a lot of knowledge. I couldn't imagine anything more fun than spending at least 6 hours of your day every day out looking for the animals.
That afternoon, I met up with Mike, who will be accompanying me on our game drives for the rest of our stay. He introduces me to Patrick, who will be our tracker. We leave the comforts of the lodge behind and venture into the bush.
Patrick's our tracker. He's basically my partner, and what we're going to do is we're going to work together to try and find you guys some animals.
Despite the area's massive size, Mike and Pat were able to point out and share some very interesting facts about the abundant wildlife.
Crazy cool things like about giraffes. They have a very big heart, which is around the size of a football, of a soccer ball. And when it brings its head down to drink, for example, or to pick up a bone or a rock or something it wants to chew, all that blood pressure suddenly, instead of going against gravity, suddenly goes with gravity. And so they have a couple of adaptations for that to stop them getting, to slow it down so they don't have a stroke when they drink. Yeah.
It was great to have a knowledgeable guide who can help you appreciate the things you see.
So you get used to the terrain and everything, and is it easy for you now? Much easier as you do it more often?
Over time, as you get more and more experience with the animals, you're more familiar with what to look for, even in a quick view. But most of the time it is down to luck anyway, that your eyes happen to glance in that exact place that the animal's walking. But
out from the bushes comes a young elephant eager to feed on the woody shrubs.
So elephants are pretty much human beings. The brain of an elephant is extremely similar to the brain of a human in many, many ways. Their problem-solving ability, their emotional scale, their communication levels.
As we prepared to leave him to his meal, we chanced upon the rest of the herd, along with some Cape buffaloes. That's 2 of the big 5 right in this spot. The Cape buffalo is the largest of the African bovine species. They can be unpredictable and are known to be one of the most dangerous animals here. They are ferocious enough to even kill lions. We continued to proceed, but one of the elephant herd's females did not seem keen on letting us pass through. Mike tries to sweet-talk his way, but she wouldn't budge. If she chooses to charge, this Land Rover can be flattened tin.
When they're coming at you, no movement, as silent as humanly possible, just so that they can decide what to do. It's the one animal that can flip the car, so...
Mike continues to work his charms.
Hello, darling. Sorry to ask you. I know, I'm sorry, but I just want to go past you.
Until she finally gives in.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. They're really great. They understand these things. They really are like people.
Finally, we can relax a bit as we approach a spot where Mike promised some sundowners.
Well, let's just have a break.
Well,
Mike, some snacks.
out of nowhere, in the middle of the bush, we have this.
Yeah, it's roughing it out here, to be honest, as you can see.
This is too rough for me. This is too rough.
It was an amazing spread with a panoramic view of the river. I savored my wine as I watched nature put on an incredible show. As we kicked back and let the day wind down, we suddenly see something at the edge of the water. It was a leopard coming down for a drink. We scrambled out of our seats to get back on the truck. The day isn't done after all. It isn't very often that a leopard walks into your field of view. and we wanted to follow and observe it up close.
And it was just right there drinking the pond over there. Is this a male or a female, Mike?
This is a female leopard.
Female.
You can tell it because of the size of her head and the fact she's got a very slender neck. Animals are good size. She's relatively small.
She was stealthy and graceful and can disappear into her surroundings at will. She can then pounce on her unsuspecting prey.
Wow, magnificent looking animal, huh?
Yeah, it's fantastic, eh? She's hunting at the moment.
Is she hunting?
Yeah, she's looking for something.
Oh.
We started losing daylight, and as we followed her closely, we can tell that she seems uneasy. Apparently, there were 2 hyenas tailing her too. She decides to disappear into a tree.
She's on top of the tree, getting worried about this hyena waiting for her. 2 of them. And this is how life is in the jungle, huh?
Generally what they're doing is they're following her so that if she kills, they're right there and then they can take it from her, you know? She doesn't want that.
Trying to shake them off, she stays put on her perch. Sensing that they are waiting in vain, the hyenas scurried off. Finally, she can come down to hunt in peace in the cover of the night. In the dark, we navigated our way back to our lodge. I hope no wild animals jump out and make dinner of us. Up next, we get deeper into the safari action as we get more wildlife encounters while learning about the unique ecosystem of the Kruger National Park. The sun rose over the Sabi sands. Early risers are up and looking for food. Meanwhile, Mike, Pat, and I geared up for an early morning drive. The Kruger National Park is a savanna made up of 6 ecosystems. These influence what type of vegetation exists and what wildlife they attract. The thickly wooded landscape draws a lot of browsers of the antelope species.
There's a nice kudu there. So this is a nyala. Okay, and then the other ones with the sort of horizontal striping are the impala, the common ones we have around here.
The abundance of these herbivores means that there's plenty of food, for predators that is. We get a whiff of something in the air, a familiar buttery scent.
Smell the popcorn? Do you smell popcorn? Do you smell popcorn, eh? That's leopard urine. No jokes, it's leopard urine. It smells like buttered popcorn, yeah.
I really thought he was joking, and there's a popcorn stand somewhere nearby. But sure enough, we find a young male leopard.
So this is a male leopard, right? Because of the bigger neck.
Absolutely. So you can see that compared to that female we saw yesterday. This guy's got a much bigger head. And body size, when he stands up, you'll realize how big he is. He's almost about half taller again as well.
As we look closer, there is another young male on the other side of the bank.
So it's 2 young males who are looking to find themselves a territory. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they both live in very close proximity means that every now and again when they meet, they're having this bit of a Mexican standoff, as it were, you know?
It's amazing what you discover out in the wild. I will never look at buttered popcorn the same way again. The Sabi Sands is also dominated by another big cat species. As we drive into some tall thicket of grass, we find a resting female lion. In the nearby bushes, we hear some rustling. 2 lion cubs playfully climbing trees. This one was curious of the new arrivals. until his brother comes and playtime continues.
So how old do you think these cubs are, Pat? 3 or 4 months? 3 months maybe?
Oh yeah, adopt these kids.
Yeah, they're great, eh? See how inquisitive they are. They're always inquisitive about their environment. They've been raised in this area for the last few months, and slowly but surely they're getting bigger.
Another lioness arrives. Females of a pride usually raise their cubs together. It was amazing to see these intimate family moments up close. I could watch these tiny cubs play all day. What a great morning spent out in the bush. In between game drives is the perfect chance to enjoy the sensory comforts offered by the Lion Sands River Lodge. I decided to pay a visit to the health spa, which offer a variety of indulgent therapies. The massage rooms are a quiet retreat with an open view of the wilderness. It was great to relax and be pampered after roughing it up in the bush. That afternoon, we geared up for another game drive. Being out in the wild on an open truck is a thrilling experience, with the anticipation of what you will find next. Suddenly, we were stopped on our tracks by a spotted hyena.
But she's very nervous for some reason.
We see a few other hyenas in the area who look like they've been eating their kill.
Oh, look at the blood on this one. Wow, look at the blood on that one.
Hyenas belong to neither the cat nor dog family. They are their own species, highly intelligent and with a sophisticated social order.
We call it a clan. It's a clan of hyenas, yeah, and it's run by the strongest female. So the strongest female will be the one in charge, and then all the other females report to her, and then all the males below them.
And then we get a rare sighting. A pack of African wild dogs. They've been chasing the clan of hyenas. These unique species are very efficient pack hunters and can run fast across large areas. African wild dogs are highly endangered, with only a few thousand left in the wild. It's great to see their numbers here in the Sabi Sands. But why were they chasing after the hyenas? As we moved forward, we discovered the final piece of the puzzle. A group of male lions feasting on a kill.
So the wild dogs killed an impala, the hyenas stole it from the wild dogs, the lions stole it from the hyenas. How amazing is that?
These young males are about 3 to 4 years old. At this age, a male lion leaves his mother and forms a lifelong friendship with other males of his age.
So Mike, they eat even bones.
Yeah, they have a specialized set of teeth at the back, and that basically creates a pair of scissors that they then use to crack through small bones, tendons, and the skin.
I can hear the cracking of the bones. Really, we're so close. I feel like I'm part of the meal.
It's quite an intense feeling, to be honest. You know,
Yes.
especially seeing as we used to be on their menu, you know, back in the day, right? So it's a bit of a primal thing.
It was a powerful encounter, being around these apex predators and witnessing the cycle of life in the wild. We drove further and chanced upon another rare sighting, a black rhino. These are critically endangered species and very elusive in the wild.
See the very small head and rounded ears, as well as the humpbacked appearance of this animal compared to the white rhino, as well as the fact it's quite a bit smaller, it's a lot smaller, almost the size of a buffalo, very small.
As we reach a part of the river, Mike decides to take me for a short bushwalk. Leaving the safety of our truck, we ventured on our own.
So,
Yes.
You were saying, Mike, that you have to be quiet while we were walking down.
Yes.
Could be a water buffalo.
It's just the fact that you don't know what's down here in these
Right.
thickets, and there could easily be another hippo, buffalo, or lion, or even leopard in these thickets. So it's the things that we don't see that we've got to be careful for.
Walking in the wild heightens your senses and makes you more observant of your surroundings. As Mike and I made our way back to the truck, we spotted a white rhino lying down in the bushes. Mike and I proceed cautiously and as quietly as possible.
Just stay very quiet.
As we took our next few steps, the rhino quickly becomes aware of our presence and stands up. I could only imagine all 6,000 pounds of him charging at us.
You can go out that way. Keep going. Go.
That was pretty close.
Well, congratulations. How was that?
Well, that was good that we were close enough. But for a while I was worried because I could see the ears standing up, which means it's listening to
Yes,
us.
it was alert to that there was something around.
Right?
And the fact that we took it nice and slow, you did very well to stay very quiet.
And when we started walking, I thought he was walking towards us. That's why I kept on watching. What do we do next? Do we hide from another tree?
Once we'd made a space and made an area, left the area for him, he relaxed down again. So great.
was a
Well,
great
thank you very much. That
experience.
was lovely. Great.
I enjoyed it.
You're welcome.
What an incredible thrill and a perfect way to end this safari. We celebrated with a nice spread on top of our truck, thankful for the amazing sightings and new friendships. My journey across this part of South Africa has been such an enriching experience. I explored its rivers, gorges, and rugged coast. I've met the locals brimming with passion for their hometowns. I've dug deep into its struggles and triumphs and seen the soul of its people. Finally, I've come face to face with its original inhabitants, its wildlife wonders that never cease to amaze. It's hard to imagine a more diverse set of experiences in just one country. But South Africa proves that you can have it all.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asian Air Safari.